Okay.
I want to specifically clear. Gomez said director's rules, SHU unit. That means segregated housing unit. Level 4. That's what I'm housed under. That's what Carol Bundy's housed under. She gets 12 interviews in a quarter without blinking an eye. She gets 6 hours. She gets out counted. She gets to walk around out the main line. Anything to make her look good. She's the government rat lion bitch. And here Gomez says, oh yeah, it's going to be fair and equal. You get 1.5 hours once every 3 months. That's real fair. Damn serial killer wannabe Gomez is what he is.
All right, everybody. Happy Friday night. This is Jeff with Daily Horizons. Sharon's not with us tonight, but always in spirit. I have two awesome guests today. We have Dave and Don in, is it Coop, like the artist?
Coop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. I got some, yeah. I got the devil head Coop tattoos
on my arm.
Oh, there you
go. Exactly. Just like that. That's how you spell it.
Excellent. Thank you for reaching. I think we met 22 hours ago for the first time. You popped up on Daily Horizons Facebook page, and you got some cool items that you want to talk about. Sounds like you are, I would say, pretty close, if not the only expert out there, but Douglas Clark, you're very close to, or were at one point. All right. Well, sound like you had a great intro, and let's when you're ready.
We want me to start just like how we met him and stuff like that?
Yeah. Tell us about the.
Okay. Well, me and my wife were really obsessed about the serial killers of the 70s because there was so many of them. And being from LA, man, I remember the Hillside Stranglers on the news. I remember there was a lot. We just had so many. Richard Ramirez, we had just Rodney Alcala, the Toolbox Killers, and then Doug and Carol. So we wanted to write a book about the killers of the 70s and find out what the connection was. So I wrote to Doug and I wrote to Kenneth Bianchi, and Doug, I left my number with Doug, and like 3 or 4 days later, Doug called me and I introduced myself and I told him, we wanted to write a book about the 70s serial killers and stuff, and we wanted him to be in it. And it ended up, we ended up getting to know him and talking to him all the time. He started calling me daily, and he would talk to me and my wife, and it turned into just working on the Doug case and the Doug and Carol case. And Doug was really trying to push that it was Jack Murray and Carol that did the murders. So, I mean, we talked to everybody. We talked to the blood experts. Mm-hmm. We talked to, my wife's
old coworkers.
Yeah, one of Carol's old coworkers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, at the hospital. We talked to, my wife talked to these women that are on all the documentaries, putting out their, giving their 2 cents into serial killers and stuff. I forgot the woman's name, but she was the professor of that dude in Idaho who killed those students.
Really?
She was his professor. Yeah.
Ramsland.
Wow.
Ramsland.
Yeah.
That's it. Ramsland.
That's crazy. And they did a documentary about Clark.
She spoke on the documentary.
Oh, okay.
But when she and I interacted.
Anytime, real quick, babe, real quick.
Huh?
Anytime that there was a documentary and Doug and Carol were in it, they always got the same fucking people in it to be interviewed. The same women were always in it. And so that's what my wife's talking about. They was talking about her. Yeah.
Louise Farr, Kathleen Ramsland. Yeah, because Farr wrote that book, but Ramsland, when I interacted with her, she acknowledged that she didn't do any independent research on the case.
Yeah.
She only just reviewed some documents that were given to her, but the way that she presents it and her, her education, her profession, it comes across as if it was independent sort of, yeah.
That's what I was going to ask. What gave them authority to state their opinions? Because I was watching a few today to just kind of get recaught up in the case, and they're just talking about all the evidence that's against him. Now, mention of the bloody boots or the footprints from his boots are on the crime scene, and big items within his home. But as you started talking with Douglas, it sounds like you were he was, I wouldn't say convincing you, but you were seeing his side of it, right?
We were, well, when we started digging into his side of it, he did have, there was a lot of really weird stuff that was going on with the LAPD and things like that. There was, it was a botched investigation. First of all, it was really lazy work. Here's just a real small example of how lazy the work was. The Little Nashville where Jack Murray played, and the night he was murdered, he played at the Little Nashville. Mm-hmm. And they said that they were looking for Jack. Jack was missing for that 1 week before they found his body. And his van was literally less than a block from the Little Nashville. Right, babe? It was like, I could yell. I could yell in front of the Little Nashville. And
so how was it missed? Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you would hear it exactly from where Jack's van was, and his body was in his van. You could hear it. So there was no great investigation here. Even his wife wasn't even looking for him, because his wife would have found him. Anybody would have found him if they went looking for him. Right. Because they found his body right by the Little Nashville.
So, and just in our work, in Louise Farr's book, they talk about Jack Murray, who seems to be one of the murderers. I'll just put it out there that he's from Australia. Well, I got his death certificate. He's from Scotland. They talk about this experience of him being married to Jeanette, where I got one of his his marriage certificate. He was married before Jeanette, and his first wife was deceased. Which is interesting. Check this out. I got the preliminary hearing information from Carol's case, because Jack wasn't allowed to be spoken about in the trial. In Doug's trial. Now, listen to this. This is from the transcripts when they're talking about the police officers talking to Carol. I'm kind of all over the place. I'm sorry. I just get excited.
Nope.
Okay. Fine. Thank you. So this is Carol saying, would you like to state what happened next? Yes. After opening the purse, Miss Bundy said, "That little jewelry box inside the purse, take that out. There's a bullet in there. You should be able to match that bullet up to the 2 girls on Forest Lawn Drive that Jack killed or Doug killed." What's up with that? That's it.
Those are Carol's words.
These are Carol's words in court.
That's crazy. Is that referring to Cindy and Gina, the half sisters?
Cindy and Gina, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, another thing is, when we started talking to, there was a guy who did an article, and I think in 1991, he did an article on the case, and he spent hours interviewing Carol. He recorded them, and we got a hold of those tapes, and Carol is saying things in the tapes where she's like, I could say something to the authorities now that would free Douglas and get him back on the street tonight if I told them what I know, but I don't want to do that because I don't want Doug to be out of prison. And she says that straight out on this tape in her own words.
That's crazy.
We have the fucking recordings. I mean, she just said it like nothing. So, and a lot of weird stuff, man. But
wouldn't you ask her, why wouldn't you want him out of jealousy? Because maybe she's trying to pin it on him.
Well, he was getting married, and his life was going pretty. I mean, his life was going pretty good. She was trying to see, the whole thing with Jack Murray was she was trying to frame Doug
She was
for
in
the
love with Jack Murray.
Yeah,
Yep.
she loved Jack Murray, not Doug. And when
Right.
she killed Jack Murray, because Jack Murray didn't care about her for shit, when she killed Jack Murray, her plan was botched because she was bringing the head home to get frame Doug for the Jack Murray murder. But it was botched by a girl who was spending the night at their apartment who had a seizure, and Doug had to call 911. Mm-hmm. So when she came home with the head, their apartment was full of cops and ambulance, workers and paramedics. Sorry about that. The paramedics. So she couldn't pin the murder on Doug because Doug had a solid alibi. So she couldn't pin the Jack Murray murder on Doug. That's why she got busted for the Jack Murray murder. But it makes you wonder about the others, like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Another thing she says really quick, and I know we're all over the place, but try to stay with us. We're talking about, the things Doug told us and the things we discovered ourselves. Another thing she said is that in the last murder, there was a prostitute and she was shot in the head. And the last murder, right before they got arrested. And Carol said, Doug shot the prostitute in the head. And the interviewer on the tape says, well, what was Doug doing after that? And she said, Doug was shaking uncontrollably. I couldn't get him to stop shaking. His whole body was shaking. Mm-hmm. If Doug was this crazy serial killer and all this shit, why was he shaking so bad? And why was he completely freaked out on
he was a cold-blooded killer.
Woman,
not after 6.
Yeah, this woman who got shot in the head when Etsy Wilson, one of the other victims, she got her fucking head chopped off by Doug Clark, what the LAPD wants you to believe, by Doug Clark. So
that's
there's
suspicious.
A lot of weird stuff like that.
It would be someone's first time unwillingly. It would act like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And at first when I heard it, I thought she shot him and Doug witnessed it for the first time, someone getting shot in the head.
Yep.
And that's why he was shaking so bad. So
that makes sense.
I don't know. What were you going to say, honey? What were we saying?
No, just thinking about, two things. One of the things, to kind of go, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Am I okay?
Yes.
One of the things that initially, LA, the serial killers, but something about Carol Bundy was always it was off because they portrayed her as this frumpy housewife who was taken by the charms of Doug Clark and turned into this, cold-blooded killer. Well, when you really start looking at Carol Bundy's history, in the 60s, she lived in Venice. She was making zines with Dick Geist. She had a zine herself called OSS. They used to call. I have copies of it. They used to call her Curvy Carol. She did illustrations for the zines of topless women holding guns.
Oh, wow.
They talked about. Yeah, right. They talk about so cool. Carol's not a babe in the woods. Carol's family, her father and mother were both in the film industry. They moved out to Los Angeles when she was younger, but they make it seem like Carol's this Midwest girl. Well, and then Carol's father hangs himself in Los Angeles in 1962. And I'm sorry if I'm going all over the place, but I'll go back to the Jack and Exy situation. So Jack Murray gets his head cut off. And when you were still able to find the autopsy reports in a book called David, what was the name of the book Critical Vision. They were able to look at the autopsy of Jack Murray and Exy Wilson and see similarities in the way that the heads were cut off. So fast forward to when we start researching the case, I got autopsy reports for all the victims I could get. But guess which two I could not get because they were not there? Jack Murray and Exy Wilson. They weren't there anymore.
The two that were decapitated, Don talked to the LA County coroner, and he had no idea why Those two autopsies were missing.
Interesting.
Right.
Those were the only two from all the victims. Only the two that we know Carol did one of them were missing. That both of them.
And,
How could it just be missing? And the coroner was just adamant about, like, look, we keep a tight ship here. There should be no reason why these autopsy reports would be missing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Who would? I mean, you'd have to trail to who has access to those records, essentially.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes.
Was Jack's head ever recovered?
Who can just walk in, get him, and then fucking walk out with them?
Right.
Maybe
Detectives.
A detective. Detectives.
Pretty much.
So,
litigation team, maybe? Is there a state defense attorney that can have access?
We met with Doug's attorney.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met with him too. He's useless.
Useless.
Most of them are, especially if they're probably court appointed.
Yeah. So the thing is, so long story short, we didn't think Doug was like innocent or anything by any stretch of the imagination. Doug had sexual relations with a 12-year-old girl. I mean, he was scummy. He was scummy. There's no doubt about it. But the reason why we stopped is it seemed like the deeper we were getting into it, the more I was getting the idea, it was coming to me more that this was a circle of really perverted people, and necrophilia was one of the fucking things that these people were into. And child things with kids and all horrible shit. Yeah. And it come on, Doug knew Angelo Bono before the Hillside Strangler murders. I mean, what are the chances that Doug would know Angelo Bono and the Sunset Strip Slayer would know the Hillside Strangler and they'd be like fucking friends? I mean, what is the chances of that? It reminds me of the thing that happened in the Stanford murders. The Stanford murders, I don't know if you remember those in the 70s. Arliss Perry, and I forgot the other girl's name, but there were two killers for two women. Arliss Perry was killed in the Stanford church, and the other girl was killed near Stanford.
Oh, yeah.
And two women killed by two different guys that were friends. The guys knew each other and used to go out with each other on Friday nights to dinner. So it's more than I think a lot of people know or give any thought to it. I think they're rings of just fucking perverts, man.
There's a network
fucked up shit
with these folks, with the Freeway killers. I think there was with Bonin and
yes, yeah.
So we got names escape me with the other Patrick Kearney.
Oh, there was
and Randy Kraft.
Bonin had Randy Kraft was killing at the same time. And mind you, I'm from LA, so if you're from Los Angeles, you'll know William Bonin lived in Downey. So did Butts. I forgot his name. Vernon Butts.
Vernon Butts,
Yeah, Vernon Butts lived in Downey as well, right down the street from William Bonin. And Randy Kraft lived in Long Beach. Man, you could take one street to get to Long Beach, to Bellflower, or to Downey. It's literally a 15-minute drive on the streets. With one street, you stay on one street, that's it. And so these fucking guys are killing people at the exact same time, doing the same thing, and they live so freaking close to each other. It's too weird, man.
It's weird. It's coincidental. Trippy. And what makes you think like they're copying each other, perhaps? Like, okay, so he's doing that. There's one that happened, so I could do now. And they'll confuse it with each other. It's crimes. The police will. And the police are clueless. I hate to say it, but they are. And they don't want to admit a serial killer because it means they have to do something about it. So I'm like, I guess thin or dead. I guess now we're going to look into it finally,
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And
the Sunset case was just everything Carol said was just like, okay, that's the story, that's what happened, and this is how we're going to give it to the public, and there it is. Just like Manson, the whole Helter Skelter bullshit and everything.
Oh my
man,
goodness.
Nobody knows what happened to this day with the Manson case.
The biggest rabbit hole you can jump into.
And the reasons why those things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously.
I mean,
nobody knows. I mean, there was
working for the CIA, or just the CIA was watching him. He did all kinds of crazy shit. And then with Polanski and Tate, there's a lot of darkness there. They had a very dark lifestyle.
There was a lot of strange shit going on up at Cielo Drive. There was a lot of weird shit going on there, man.
Yeah.
A lot of shit. The drugs and parties.
And Polanski hung out with each other.
And he was apparently making porn of his own wife.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, right? And all the people that were supposed to be there that night that didn't show up.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Then think of this.
Stanley
then
Glick.
Polanski leaves. Then Polanski leaves after his wife is chopped up. He leaves LA and goes to New York and starts teaching acting or drama, some shit in New York, right? And one of his students is Rodney Alcala. I mean, what are the fucking odds of this shit, man?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, after the crimes, he came back. Polanski did, and he's taking photos at the crime scenes. There's photos that he didn't look very distraught. I think it's coincidental that he's out of town when this happens.
Yeah.
Hell yes. Blood all around him in those pictures, and
it's creepy. I would not be at my wife's murder scene with his.
Exactly.
I would be so distraught. I'd like, don't you burn that picture now.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The picture where he's sitting on the chair on the porch.
Yeah.
And there's blood all over.
Yes.
He looks more. To me, he looks pissed off that somebody ruined the carpet in the house. That's what he fucking looks like.
I thought he was posing like on the door with the pig on. He's just kind of like publicity photos.
It looked like it.
It's kind of like, fuck, this sucks.
Yeah.
Weird. That's why we stopped writing the book, to be honest, man. That's the reason why, because there's too many people involved that are behind the scenes to all these murders that people don't even know these people's names.
Or what they're capable of. Are you also concerned about the attention it could bring to you with these very unsavory people?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the danger.
So that's why we just
were trying to get his property.
Yeah.
Because if we had gotten all of it, well, anyway, yes.
No, it was bad. And
no, is that taboo? Are we able to talk about the power of attorney?
No.
Okay.
No,
we can talk about that. I just jump in. I get all excited, so I have to watch myself because
please don't hold back.
I love this topic.
Yeah. It's and this is something I know you're probably new to our podcast. So myself and Sharon, I would say we're kind of collectors, but I'm not a seller and I'm not against it. But we write to a lot of inmates, and we talk with Tina Monroe, who used to be James Monroe with the Bill Bonin fame. And it's the same thing,
really?
Their story is with the people, and what got us into it, I think it's very similar to you. I want to know the truth. I don't want to hear just the documentaries because it's probably 95% fake, wrong,
It's bullshit.
Yeah. And people are in prison for the wrong reasons.
What they do is the LAPD and any police department, they just want to wrap up these cases. They want to solve them, wrap them up in a nice little box and throw somebody in prison forever and then leave it alone. Look 100%. at the Son of Sam case.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think, you would have to be nuts to think, and I know there are a lot of people like Manny Buckhead Grossman, and there's a lot of people that say Maury Terry was full of shit and all this, but to me, you have to be nuts to believe that David Berkowitz was the lone nut killer who killed all those people in New York back in the 70s, man. No way.
Not just him.
No way. There's so much.
It makes sense. It doesn't even physics. Truth. It doesn't even work.
And And when he talks about being a Satanist, I laugh because he's got like he reminds me of like the classic New Yorker. Hey, yo, Satan. Yeah, worse. It's like I don't buy it, man. So you weren't into Satanism.
He was a lonely dude who met some guys. He got involved in this shit, and they knew he was going to be the fall guy from the minute they fucking met him, because he was perfect, man. He was a Lee Harvey Oswald. He was fucking lonely.
Yes.
He was desperate for friends. They fucking were taking him to parties, taking him around attractive women, and they knew, fuck, okay, this is our fucking sacrificial lamb that's going to go down for it. But David Berkowitz can't do anything. He has family out here in the world that to this day could be in a lot of danger if he started talking about what really happened.
Yes.
So, that's
careful.
just how it is. And that's, yeah. And that's why we were just like, fuck it, man. We don't need this shit. We're music people. You know what I mean? We don't need bullshit like that.
Yeah.
I think that Doug was a really good fall guy too, because to be quite honest with you, I mean, and I enjoyed my conversations with Doug. He was definitely not a great person. So please don't get me wrong when I say this, but he was not a likable person when he was in court. He was arrogant. He was, his ego was bigger than you can imagine. He was always writing reports, man. He had his little pencil writing reports about every inmate in San Quentin, right, David? I mean, so Doug was somebody that people couldn't get behind and like him. So he was easy to be found guilty too, I think.
Yeah. Because he was his own attorney too.
Yeah, don't defend yourself in court.
When they took away Doug's pro per, they gave him Stanley. What was it? Keith? What was his name? I forget his name.
Keith. I want to say Keith Morris. It was Keith Maxwell. No. It was Maxwell.
Keith Maxwell Keith. They gave him Maxwell Keith.
Maxwell Keith.
He had a reputation of being this just drunk, really bad attorney, and he's the one who fucked up what's her name? One of the Manson girls. He was one of their one of their attorneys. Yeah. And they gave her a new trial in the 70s because he was so incompetent. And this is who they gave Doug when they took away his pro per. So
right here I have in front of me declaration of Maxwell. Yeah.
Maxwell Keith.
This Maxwell. Yeah, it says Maxwell Keith declares, I am a former member of the state bar, and he's and was the trial counsel for Doug Clark in the capital murder, and says attached is a copy of a document which appears to be the psychiatric report on Miss Carol Bundy. This document was provided to me in 2002 by Mr. Magnuson. I have no recollection of ever seeing Dr. Myers' report at any time prior to May 2002, and do not believe I was ever given a copy. Trial in the Clark case commenced in 1982. Approximately 2 months later, in the course of the defendant's case in chief, I made the decision to call Carol Mary Bundy as a witness. Had I been provided with a copy of Dr. Myers' report and the information contained therein with respect to Miss Bundy's mental condition, I would not have called her as a witness in the case. So I mean, this poor guy didn't get the information, right? I mean, he
got it in 2002. Crazy. That trial ended in 1982. Fucking 20 years later.
20 years later, and she died like a year later too, didn't she? In 2003.
2003, she died in 2003. I tried to get the transcript request for Douglas Clark. And in death row cases, you're never supposed to purge and get rid of those. When I requested them, they could not be processed because the stenographic notes have been destroyed. I mean, even when you try to get them in a legit way, you can't get the Doug Clark case notes because they've been destroyed, and that's just not how it's supposed to go down. They're supposed to keep them forever.
Or death row missing and sold off. Somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Missing my ass.
Yep.
There's no way they're going to. Someone knows that shit has value to it one way or another.
Yes.
The value of truth or the value of money.
Uh-huh. speaking of money, Carol Bundy and Jack Murray had a safety deposit box together with just tens of thousands of dollars together in it. And allegedly, Jack Murray traded in videos of the pornographic nature that was in I think that was in not Program to Kill, the other one. I keep forgetting the name, David. That's a great book. But Critical Vision. But Carol Bundy, how did she have all this money? Her and Jack Murray have just tens of thousands of dollars. I mean, it's just there's something about her connected to all these people. Yeah.
Yeah, they mentioned that in documentaries, and she just $15,000, and I'm like, well, how'd she get that? I thought she was kind of poor and Skid Row type living.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Right. in the official report that in that shitty book that Louise Farr wrote, she wrote that Jack met Carol at a women's shelter because Jack would go and help all the nuns at the women's shelter. Jack Murray was a son of a bitch. Anybody you look at, anytime we looked into Jack Murray, it was all bad. He was a bastard, a son of a bitch. He didn't go help nuns. Dude was a son of a bitch.
It's a fact that he broke his wife's arm. It's a fact that he. Tell him, David.
Yeah. So a loaded 38 right in Carol's son's face. Put a loaded 38 right up to his nose, and said he would kill him if he ever did this again. Little 9-year-old boy. Yeah. So this shit about the Louise Farr's book about the Sunset Strip murders is just it's a fucking fairy tale fantasy bullshit.
It's a love letter to Leroy Roscoe. Yeah, I mean, she felt so high on the hog that she got to be sitting there with all the detectives. In the beginning of that book, it's just like, thank you, Leroy. I shouldn't be, I don't even know I've heard her speak, but thank you, Leroy, for letting me be a part of the case. And, seriously, just the egos are just enormous in the situation here.
And keep in mind, Jeff, when it came to the LAPD, the LAPD took it on the chin because it was Washington State that caught the Hillside Strangler. Mm-hmm. It was Washington State that caught Bianchi. So on the chin because they didn't even solve that murder. Washington State gave them the information they needed to go after Angela Bono and solve the case. So 2 years later, the Sunset Strip case happens. They have to solve this case. They have to solve it. People are starting to freak out. There's a serial killer around Hollywood, picking up girls in Hollywood and killing them. Mm-hmm. They had to solve the case, man. They had to. So it was just very convenient. Yep. You see a doofus like Doug. Doug was like, I got to say, he was like a doofus, man. He was just, he was, he was like one of those guys.
I'm talking with him.
Who thought he was like the smartest guy in the room, but actually like behind his back, you're kind of like giggling like this guy's full of shit. You know what I mean?
He couldn't stop it. He was talking in one of the interviews where he's wearing the painter's hat, where he's like talking about, I have to judge my crosshairs. It's like, why are you saying that, Doug?
Yeah, intelligence
why would you talk about
has you
shooting
quiet.
People?
Exactly.
You got to be collective and cool, not just spouting out shit. And ego, we pick up on that so fast.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. And he was like, man, all I'm saying, he was saying in the interview, talking about one of the detectives, he was saying, I don't know. He just better watch out when I get out of here. I'm not saying I'll do anything to him, but he better watch out. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up, dude. Shut up.
And on that note, didn't he years later, doesn't he would still kind of play that role for like pen pals, right? Maybe for commissary. So maybe he kind of played his involvement to keep up his popularity with people reaching out to him. Do you think?
Yeah.
He would turn people in. He would turn. Yeah. I think he did because
people
he liked
it. But that were weird.
And think about this with Doug's personality and his love of being the center of attention. Because if he really committed these murders, I feel like he would have done something more in line with like a Dennis Rader and talk about them. And isn't it funny how the cops say miss this and talk and talk and talk. Yeah. I mean, even the thing where they found the gun in the Jergens factory, he thought he was going to be, like cool with the cops. He brought it there to give it to them so that he could get Carol in trouble. Yeah. And he thought it was going to be like.
That's why those guns were at his work, because he was going to give them to the police. And instead, the police, so stupid, instead of putting them in a room and asking him questions, they just put handcuffs on him and took him to jail. So he was like, fuck this. I'm not saying nothing until, there's a lawyer or whatever. And he thought it was a big joke at the time. And, fuck, man, he spent the rest of his life in death row. So
yeah,
I'm not saying that Doug is innocent, because I do think Doug was part of this ring. I just don't
he saw
think
things. If he wasn't partaking, he didn't stop it.
Yeah,
per se. No. Might have turned themselves in, and so you developed a connection with them. We never really call it a friendship. Some kind of. I mean, you develop like a phone friendship in a way, and it's always hard to say someone who might have done a crime to be friends with them. But some type of relationship, and then so your phone calls and letters back and forth with Clark.
You know what it turned into? It turned into us. It turned into us being his power of attorney, and then he wanted us to. He would screen all his letters. He wouldn't even open his letters. He would open them and then forward them to us. They opened them. The prison would open them, and he would forward them all to us. We would get them in the mail almost daily from him. We'd get letters, and we would tell him, yeah, you can write this dude. He's cool. This guy seems like he just wants this and this, but this guy's cool and whatever. So he left it up to us to tell him who to write to and who not to. So
his he gave us a lot too. And I would email his he
gave us a lot of his responsibilities, I guess. I don't know what you would call it, but he, for whatever reason, he trusted us.
Yeah, say his trust.
So the night he went into the hospital, he told the doctors, he gave the doctors my phone number, and he said, you call Dave or Don Coop for anything. They make all the decisions. You make sure you call them. They're the ones that are in charge. Call them for anything. And so I got a call. I was getting these calls from San Francisco, and I wasn't answering them because I didn't recognize the number. So I was like, whatever.
And my sister was visiting.
Yeah, and I wasn't listening to. Yeah, her sister was in town from back east. So, long story short, I get this call. Finally, I answer. It's like a Tuesday night, and they're telling me that Doug's not doing good. If he needs this operation, they don't think he'll survive the operation. And if he does survive the operation, he's going to lose the use of his legs, and he probably won't be able to talk anymore. He'll lose his ability to speak, and maybe one of his arms too, the ability to move one of his arms. So I just told, me and Don talked about it, and we told the doctors just unplug him, and they did.
Yeah. I'm sure he'd want that. Just to get out of prison. If he's never going to get out, and he's going to be handicapped so badly, he's not going to want to remain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you ever have a chance to see him in person?
No.
No, we never went and saw him.
But I have it right here. It says, can I read this, David, what it says about what Doug said about if he's in a vegetative state?
Go ahead.
It says, I, Douglas Daniel Clark, of sound mind and body, hereby state I want the plug pulled on life support if I'm in a vegetative state on life support for 30 or more days without I can't read his writing. It's so hard sometimes. I might not pull through. That's all, folks. I love you guys. Bye-bye.
Yep.
4/10/23, because he had heart surgery coming up. He had a lot of cardiovascular problems.
Right.
So we did. I mean, I feel like we respected his wishes, and we talked to the
100%.
chaplain, and we had them, kind of try to be with him in his last moments, to some type of dignity, and just a human being. It's a human being. He did bad things, but
that's how I feel. It's our responsibility, and we always say, for the victims, how their family, how they feel is 100% valid. If they want the death penalty for them, if they don't care what happens to them, I respect that. That means the folks like us that are not involved in it can have that human care and say, we don't support what you did or we're a part of at all, but we're no better than, if you want to compare yourself to like Nazi Germany, how they were treating people. We don't do that.
Yeah.
And the prison systems are notorious for being very cruel. Too much excessive force that's not needed. They're still human beings. If you did something bad, what gives you the right to treat them like shit? They didn't do anything to you,
Yeah.
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 So it's
it's out of the bridge club. Who's left? What's his name? Out of Long Beach. We were just talking about him.
Bernie Bucks?
Shit. No, Long Beach.
Sorry.
You know who I'm talking about. Oh God, we were just saying him.
William Bonin? No.
The Freeway killer, but he was the other one.
Oh, you mean
he was the
Kearney
guy
or Kraft?
Randy
Kraft?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they would all play bridge. It would be Randy Kraft and William Bonin against Doug Clark and what's his name, Larry Bittaker, the Toolbox murder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that was the Bridge Club. So there's only one
Talk
left.
About the Golden Girls
Club.
right there.
That's
crazy.
Yeah, the Golden Girls. Yeah, could have made a fucking sitcom with them all.
I talk with Randy Kraft not quite so often. We talk in GTL app. Can't get a letter from him, which I would love to have letter. And he has a website up, and we're talking because he saw my last name as Sample, and he goes, "You're not related to Bobby Sample, are you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am." He goes, "We were childhood friends," and he's on my website. So on his website, he's got a couple pictures of. He's my third cousin, I think. And they said, we used to have we'd have cookouts and sleepouts in the backyard. And I told this to my second cousin because they knew about this, which is kind of a weird coincidence. Like my family's connection to the cult and serial killers is kind of weird because we're in California. So I think everybody has some type of relation or experience with, because there were so many out there. So I think it's common.
Exactly. When we were looking at cold cases, we have a friend named Kelly who is she's in England, and she was looking up all these cold cases in LA, and there's weird stuff, that cold case murders from like the early 80s and stuff that just really hit close to home, that are fucking very strange. And yeah, man, there's a weird connection to, that's how California is, man. Everything I know, it's just like there's fucking, we're all connected to something. You know what I mean?
Well, and over here in Colorado, there's a lot of weird things going over here too. I think Colorado's cursed. I'm convinced. We've lived here for 5 years. I don't know, it's strong Native American land, as all are, but I really think the folks that came here really fucked up this land, and it's got some, Chris Watts, Jean Benet, Columbine. I mean, the list goes on. It's so much happening here. And being from Arizona, from Tucson, a lot of shit there too. A lot of Robert Bardo. I was talking with him on the phone before you guys. He and I talked quite a bit. I'm almost kind of like the way you guys with Clark, I'm with Bardo. He sends me his books to hold on to. I got letters from his parents. He reaches out to me if someone writes to him new, and he goes, "Can you make sure that they're a real person?" Because he gets a lot of catfish. So I do the same role with him that I think you guys went with with Clark.
Wow, what a trip, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a trip.
And
yeah.
They trust you though. I mean, especially the older they get, they do need that somebody to be kind of like a critical thinker just to assess things. And that's, it's an interesting space to be.
And we always go back and forth, like, because if you tell, like, I like talking with folks like you because you're in the same line, you understand. You talk to someone off this, like a family member, like, why the hell would you talk to someone in prison? They don't get it,
Yeah.
It's a.
Yeah. My family would trip. They would all trip that, like, that I would be sitting, in my sister's house and my nephews would be there and my phone would ring and it would be Doug. And then my sons would trip out because they were always like hanging out at our house. And every time they were here, Doug would call and they would hear, the recording that says, you have a call from, and he would say, Douglas Clark. And my sons would all imitate him and shit. And people would trip out. And they would always ask, like, how did that happen? How did you know this guy? And it's just really weird how he fell into our lap and trusted us so much. We had his ashes.
Yeah. We
had his ashes and we got him cremated and now his ashes are with Zach Baggins. Zach Baggins has his ashes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. That's what Doug wanted, though. Doug was so excited to know that Zach Baggins had his typewriter. He was thrilled. So we felt like that was appropriate. I mean, but I felt bad for our kids because, Dave and I would be in the kitchen talking about, I'm looking at like autopsy reports and look at this one, David. And the kids are just like, oh, God, my mom and dad are just.
Our kids are visiting us for our
my
kids
family
are visiting
too.
us for dinner. Dinner and shit, and me and Don are talking about somebody being decapitated and shit. You know what I mean?
He goes I have kids and a wife, and they're very supportive. I try to watch. I have tons of artwork. I got Happy Face Killer drawings, and I have file cabinet full of letters and artwork and stuff, and that I can't part with. I might pass it on to my kids someday, and they can sell it and make a lot of money off it. I mean, for yesterday's Thanksgiving, I had 4 or 5 phone calls from different inmates, talking and wishing happy Thanksgiving and just giving that human touch. And we don't talk about their crimes. I was taking my son; he was getting his first eyebrow piercing, and I was on the phone with Cowboy Mike from Washington, and I run into this tattoo shop. They have a pogo painting. I'm like, is that real? And they got nervous. Like, you're not weirded out by it. And I have I have a serial killer shirt I made for my podcast. I'm like, it doesn't weird me out. That's my business,
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly, bro.
It becomes a
Well,
we can now also talk about the music side because
it is a boundary to keep.
Yeah, there's a boundary. Sometimes I'll have to take a week off because it becomes too much. It's overwhelming.
Oh yeah, we had to do that. A few times we had to do that.
Yeah.
It's, for your own mental.
Or there would be times where there was a time when he was in lockdown for 3 weeks, and we didn't hear from him at all because they wouldn't give him the phones in lockdown. So 3 weeks, man, we wouldn't hear from him, and that would be strange because this fucking guy called us every day.
Yeah.
Every single day.
Over and over. If you don't answer, keep trying.
Well, we needed breaks too. Yeah. Over and over. We went to I don't know how, I can't pronounce this correctly. Udemeyer Park for the 22, David Berkowitz. And after David and I we were out in New York and everything. We're like, let's just take a couple of months and just not do anything. You just felt so much, right, David?
Oh yeah.
Going out there to
Untermeyer Park.
Untermeyer Park. Yeah. We're like, okay, I feel like I picked something up there. I need to.
We were like, let's go to Long Island and have some fucking seafood and go to the beach and fucking just drop
no
all
true
the
crime
shit and just
happy things.
Yeah,
that's what we did. But little did we know that we were probably right by Rex Huberman's house or some shit.
Oh,
you know
geez,
what I mean?
yeah. Well, that goes back to your head, that journalistic.
But you're mentioning music.
Oh, yeah, because I saw a picture because we used to live in Rita Ranch. I lived in Tucson since '83 to 2000.
Yeah,
and I can't say that I knew Lenny Mental. He and I talked many times. Like we were at Burlington Coat Factory, me and my wife, and he's behind us. So we talked with him. Right? You'd see him all around town, and I saw him play. He opened for the Murder Junkies, with Merle Allen.
Yeah.
That was back. I
Yeah.
don't know if you were in Tucson when the vaudeville was downtown. Remember that?
No,
Long
but
since.
you know what's funny is when I was in Long Beach, I lived like 2 blocks from Merle Allen. So when I lived in Long Beach, so that's another weird connection.
He's cool. I tried to get him on the show, but he wants money, and I'm like, I don't make money. I can't pay you money because I don't have any. But I respect that. But we all got to make a buck.
Yeah.
I got one of his drawings, but it's because you are also part of it. We're talking about.
You have to use hand sanitizer after you touch Merle's art because he likes to use a special sauce on his paintings.
Really? I need to get out the black light and see that one. It's a marker one.
Yeah. Right? The little brown and the yellow, mix it up in the little baby food jar.
Really?
God, but that's on documentaries. That's not a secret. That's
no secret.
God, I feel like such a jerk. No, that's no secret.
No. All joking aside, Lenny's a good dude. I like Lenny a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. He's a really fucking cool guy. His birthday show is, I believe, next weekend. If it's not next weekend, it's the weekend after.
December 12th?
And it's, I'm not sure. I don't remember, but it's coming up. We're going to be there for sure. But it's like Besmirkers and Fang and like 3 other bands. But it's his birthday show that they always have. And every year it's a fucking blast. It's killer. So
I wish I was there.
Yeah.
I think one of my friend's kids is in a band. Well, he's not a kid. I think he's 19. But he's open for the Besmirkers, and his dad is a Freemason, and I'm a Freemason, but not really anymore. He was my worshipful master. Yeah. But he was cool because his kid is into punk and hardcore. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get a hold of Lemmy. I'd like to interview him. That'd be great. But he's hard to get a hold of. So
yeah, Lenny's a funny dude, man. He sent me a funny picture for Thanksgiving yesterday, and let's just say the turkey. It was a testicles with that, but it was a turkey too. So
was he stuffing the turkey?
Well, it was. Let's just say it was
testicle turkey.
The testicle turkey.
Yeah, the body of the turkey was someone's real testicles.
It's a turkey. Now it's a cow tongue. It's a turkey.
Yeah,
it's a transforming turkey.
Yeah, he sent me that picture yesterday.
The beautiful wings of a flesh-colored bat.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, Tucson has its charm.
So, yeah, Lenny's a good dude.
I don't miss that town. I spent enough time there, but I was there. I was in the punk scene. I was in the goth scene while they had it. I don't know if it's still there. Not quite. There was the fine line that they had there. Shit. What else they had? I can't remember. There was like one punk club. It was mostly like the young punks would go there. I can't remember anymore.
Which
it's
club
all
was
gone.
it?
Scrappy's.
Oh, it's all gone?
Yeah. And in Tucson.
Oh, that sucks, man. Yeah.
I'm sure
we went out last Saturday night and we saw 2 really cool bands, and we saw them at 2 different clubs. And then when we were going out to eat over on 4th, we passed by another club that had this cool garage band playing. So there's a lot of music here in Tucson, man. That's for
still
sure.
There.
Definitely.
The 4th Avenue is awesome. And we got Lindy's, the burger stand there. Bison Witches. I do miss 4th Avenue.
That's where we were going to Bison Witch.
Yeah.
We got the half sandwich and half Red Bull soup thing they got going on.
That's it. That's what we had.
Hell yes.
That's exactly what we had. Yeah.
If I'm from Tucson when I could reference that cool shit.
The Red Bull.
Yeah, man. We me and Don, neither of us are from here, but we like it here. We like it here a lot. We've been here for quite a while. We've been here long enough. You know what I mean? So,
oh yeah,
it's cool.
Steeped into the culture. No, I don't. I guess because I've been there since '83. I needed something different, and I like the cold. I've never been much for the heat. My grandparents dragged me through Death Valley as a kid so much, and I got fried.
Yeah,
I'm up here looking for Bigfoot now. That's my thing. Sasquatch, looking for the UFOs, but that's everywhere. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's Arizona. Whew. Yeah, we're in UFO country down here too.
Oh yeah,
UFO country. Yeah.
And if you guys are into paranormal, I don't know if you go to Bisbee, you need to take their ghost tour down there.
Is it cool?
Ooh.
It's really cool. My friends do that. And
we should go go check it out, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you do, let me know and I'll let them know. Yeah. And then you want to meet their husband. His name is Jemmy, and he's got tons of Mur'billia stuff. If you like that kind of stuff, you can go to his house and see he's got Ed Gein like spoons, and he's got a couple of pogos.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Bisbee's a fun
I should
town.
be so spooked.
My wife and I,
we
we
have
did a
an
honeymoon.
earring from, babe? Who do we have an earring from?
Bob Bordella. Bob Bordella.
Oh yeah,
Bob Bordella.
Yeah.
I got a piece of his crime scene tape that was on the evidence. Yeah, we did an episode.
Shit.
Oh my gosh!
It was like a month ago. Me and some friends on a podcast episode. We were trying to conjure his ghost, and we using those stupid phone apps. And I swear they kept saying his name, Bob. So I don't. It was fun.
Yeah.
We were trying to conjure the ghost of Bob.
Of all the people.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Don't.
He wanted to ask about
cleaner and
just
wanted,
babe. Hey, babe. He wanted to ask about the recipes that he would make for all the potlucks at the fucking market he worked at. The fucking
the Bazaar.
The roast beef.
Yeah, the roast beef.
Yeah, the Bazaar.
Yeah, the Bazaar.
Yeah, his Bazaar.
Dave, did he go to art school in New York too? He was kicked out for killing a dog in one of his art exhibits. Was he in New York around the same time as Anger and stuff?
It was in fucking where he lived. He was in
Kansas. Okay,
Kansas.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it was in Kansas. He wasn't even in fucking LA. He was in fucking Kansas. Dumb motherfucker killed a dog, man.
That's not cool.
I mean, right there, that dude
I hate that.
Taken out right there. Boom. Fucking hurt an animal. Fuck
you, my dog just beat that. She's all, someone killed a dog. I'm like, shh, no. Go back to sleep, puppy. You're safe. And Tucson had at least one serial killer. You heard of the Pied Piper of Tucson, right?
Yeah, I know that there's a tour for him or something.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it was like from the 50s or 60s, right?
Yeah, he'd paint on a mole in his face, and he wore tin cans in his shoes to be taller.
What a trip.
Charles Schmidt. Yeah, and
Charles Schmidt.
He'd play all the high school girls. That's why they call him the Pied Piper, because they would all follow him.
Aye.
Fucking shit.
Tucson also is the only place with a shrine to a sinner. It's there's a place that's where is it near, David?
It's sort of by the university,
Tucson?
sort of by the university.
Yeah, it's an interesting place.
About,
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I know Tucson's history. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've been there a little bit too often lately, lighting candles for friends who have passed away there. But it's a cool little place, and it's a little place in Tucson. It's cool.
Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff there. So, I love the Son of Your Mission's really cool.
Well, if you ever come back to visit, man, that you can always drop by our Monster Museum anytime you want, bro.
I will. We still have family that lives there. My dad lives in Bisbee, so we're due for a trip. I need to go back.
Yeah.
It's my ties are not cut from Tucson. I just don't know if I'd ever live there again. I don't know, because I want to see the world. I've lived there too long. I need to see more,
Yeah. You do.
Yeah. I want to get an RV and stay in Tucson, but like be in the RV half the month, and then spend the other half here in Tucson, and then That's what I'd like to do. Don't you think, babe? That would be cool.
That would work. There's some BLM land out there
that.
on Snyder Hill.
A lot of it.
I don't know if you heard about. There's over by old Tucson area. There's a place called Snyder Hill, and we went out there last time. There's tons of RVs. I'm like, what the hell's going on there? I've never seen that before. Back in the day, we'd go out there. It was a shooting range where we would go.
Yeah,
but yeah.
We still go.
We just went shooting the other day.
Yep.
Yeah, we just went shooting the other day. That's what I love, man. We went up to the oh shoot, what is that? Where did Tom live, babe? In
Patagonia? What is that?
Patagonia, yeah. We would go up
Patagonia.
That's the lake.
Patagonia.
Over by Sonoyta?
Go up towards towards Sonoyta.
Yes.
That little road that goes up there. And then right off the road, there's a bunch of spots where you can shoot. And we just stop there and just start blasting shit, man. Just whatever's out there, we blow it to shit.
That's fun. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is, man. It really is.
The land, you can stay there 14 days in your RV.
Yes. Yeah. That's the life. I'm ready to cut the ties. I'm ready to just to travel, but my kids are still elementary school age, so I got to keep it for them, you know.
Oh yeah, dude. You're kind of stuck. Yeah.
I'm going to wait a long time until they're out of the house. Till me and my wife can cruise.
Our kids are all.
They're all grown.
Yeah.
They're all grown.
That's why we're at RV age. We're. Yeah. They're all old enough to drink and older than that. So we're.
That is a great idea
before we end the. Before we end the interview, I just want to let people know that I am selling off. Me and Don are selling off Doug's stuff. We sold a lot of his personal stuff already, but we still have tons of cards, letters, cards like birthday cards, Christmas cards. Every occasion he would send us stuff. We have Playboy covers, old Playboy covers that he signed.
Nice.
We have we just have a lot of different stuff from him. I have a T-shirt that he made for me. And I think it's just a big
little stress ball, a clock.
Yeah, we have his old clock that he got from he got it from Bittaker, Lawrence Bittaker, but it broke, so he sent it to us, and stress ball, and we just have a lot of stuff from him. So if you're interested in buying any Doug Clark stuff, you can hit us up on Facebook or let's see, or you could even email us at the Nod. That's THENOD radio show at gmail.com. The Nod radio show at gmail.com. If you're interested in buying some Doug Clark memorabilia, we got a lot. And it's cool. It's good stuff. It's really
I'll put
cool.
this on the description, of course, of this, because this is going to go on YouTube. Should be on Middle Cross next week. I'm not sure how long it's been. We might have to split into 2 episodes for Middle Cross, which is a cool alternative.
We've kept you for a while, station, huh?
Which is good. I like it. Yeah. But they only like hour-long shows. But no, it's going to go on YouTube. Hopefully tomorrow, maybe tonight, if I'm feeling rambunctious enough to do some editing. As far as its raw material, I just add an intro and ending to it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll definitely check it out, man. We're definitely going to check it out, and
I'll keep in touch with you online,
bro.
David,
pass the word, and I might even turn you guys into a T-shirt, because we have a lot of merch, and sometimes when people come on the show, I like to turn into a T-shirt commemorative.
Yeah.
You know. We have a saying I have one that says, "Don't yell at me because I talk to serial killers." That one's pretty popular. People like that one. That's a great bumper sticker. That'll keep any of those rage drivers away from you.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
And if I get some merch like stickers, I'll send you guys some, you know? So.
All right. Perfect, man.
That would be awesome.
Perfect, bro.
We'll just have to give him a on the Nod T-shirt.
Thank you for having. Yeah. We have 2 radio shows on.
Yeah.
We have 2 radio shows on Real Punk Radio. The Friday Night Ike Show, which is a lot of garage, oldies, cool stuff. And then On the Nod is on every Wednesday on Real Punk Radio. And it's all punk rock, oi, and punk rock, pretty much just that's it. And that's what we're dedicated to. So Hit us up on.
Don't get me started on that subject. I don't know. If you guys missed. God, what's his name? Bill. He had Toxic Ranch in Tucson that shut down a while ago.
Yeah, Toxic Ranch. He still sells.
Yeah,
he still sells
like records
events.
at the.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I tried to stay at his house because he was talking about doing a B&B. I'm like, yeah, me and my family come down. He goes, no, I'm not doing that. I'm like, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying you do a bed and breakfast. Okay, my mistake, Bill. Sorry. I said, don't bring your family here. No, he's cool. I've known him since I was in my teens, man.
Oh, shit, that's cool, man.
All right, let's we'll wrap this one up. I'm Jeff from Deadly Horizons. Dave and Don, my new friends. Please, I make friends with all my guests. You guys are awesome.
Yay.
Like I said, we met
early
today. That's how it goes. That's how we make friends. It's been wonderful.
Thanks,
you guys have a good night.
We'll talk soon.
It's good to meet you. It was good to meet you. Good night, Jeff.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night, Jeff.
Bye-bye.